Once again, everyone, welcome to the physics class. Hope you all are doing very well in your class. Sorry, in your home by just listening our videos. So once again, today we are going to discuss few more topics which is related to our topics. So we are in the topic of wave optics. Where in wave optics we are discussing about mainly three properties. One is interference, one is diffraction, one is polarization. Interference and diffraction were explaining based on the Huygens wave theory. Okay, and polarization by the electromagnetic theory, Maxwell's electromagnetic theory. Now, in interference, we are having two conditions. One is constructive interference, one is destructive interference. And what are the conditions for constructive interference? What are the conditions for destructive interference? We discussed. Then after, types of, how many types of we are conducting the experiment. We are having two types of conducting experiment. One is a division of wavefront and one is a division of amplitude. Based on division of wavefront, we are having an experiment called Young's double slit experiment. Then we discussed about condition for bright fringe, condition for dark fringe, fringe width, and some facts about the fringes. Then visibility. Next, after the visibility, we discussed about missing and appearing wavelengths. So the due to the introduction of glass slab, what is going to happen? This is all the topics we discussed in the previous classes. In today's class, we will discussing other type of experimenting. So as we already discussed that two types of two parameters for conducting an experiment. First one is what division of wavefront. Okay, so division of wavefront, YDSC, Young's double slit experiment. Okay, now coming to the next, we are having division of amplitude. Okay, see, not only YDSC, Nana, Fresnel's biprism, okay, next okay, this is one more. Okay, Fresnel's biprism is one more experiment similar to that. Okay, we will get later. Now coming to next, division of amplitude. In division of amplitude, we are having the experiment of thin films, okay, and Lloyd's mirror experiment. Okay, these two. So we already discussed about YDSC and Fresnel's biprism. You won't generally require, but it is also similar to the YDSC. No more changes. Okay, we will discuss it later on. And coming to the here division of amplitude, we are having the thin films and the Lloyd's mirror experiment. So we are going to discuss these thin films. Okay, and we will solve only few problems based on the Lloyd's mirror experiment. Okay, guys. So we will just move to the our topic right now. So in today's class, we will discuss division of amplitude based thin films, or simply interference in thin films. So we are going to discuss two topics in today's class. One is interference in thin films, and the other one is Doppler effect. So two topics we are going to discuss in today's class. What are those? Interference in thin films. This is our first topic, and Doppler effect. This is our second topic. Okay, these are the two topics we are going to discuss in the today's class. First of all, what do you mean by the word thin film? Thin film is a separation of a two media, or simply it's like a air bubble, soap bubble, or oil on the surface of water. These all are what? Thin films. So you can able to see in rainy season, on I mean some pool of water, if you drop some oil particles, they will form a thin layer, and we can able to see some different colors. Is it right? Color bands will appear. That effect is only called as interference in thin films. Okay, how that experiment, I mean how that process takes place, that we are going to discuss right now. Okay, so before we are just we will go through the different formulae we are using, then we will show we will discuss how we need to derive those. Okay, so guys, fine, yeah. So this is a illustration of interference based on the thin films. Interference effects are commonly observed in thin films when their thickness is comparable to the wavelength. I mean, this is the basic condition we already discussed previously. Okay, so thin layer of oil on water surface and soap bubbles shows various colors in white light due to interference of waves reflected from two surfaces of the film. Okay, so you can observe how the light is undergoing. So this is the first wave. I mean, you can see, Nana, this is your incident light, and some part of the light will undergo reflection, and some part of light will undergo refraction. This refracted ray once again reflected back to the same media. Whenever it undergoes reflection, it will, these two light rays meet at some point, which will create a interference effect. Okay, so how that, I mean, you can see how this interference takes place in films. In thin films, interference takes place between the waves reflected from its two surfaces and waves refracted through it. You can see the lights are reflected, I mean it is reflecting from topmost surface, once again reflecting from bottom surface. It is undergoing double, twice reflected, you can observe. Okay, now these all are the conditions. See, when I show these formulas directly, everyone will have a confusion, sir, how to remember all those things. But after explaining, it will be very easy. Okay guys, so right now we will discuss. Okay, so first of all I'm going to share here. Okay guys, so you can able to observe, Nana. So here I'm going to draw the fine. Okay, so this is a surface, topmost surface of a thin film. This is bottommost surface of a thin film. Now the thickness here is T. Thickness is what, Nana? T. Now whatever the light it is falling like this, this is incident ray. Now some part will undergo reflection like this. Now some part will undergo, since light is traveling from rarer to denser, it will refract like this. The light ray will reflect or bends towards the normal, and after here it is going to once again reflects back. Okay, and it is going to move back like this, undergo reflection like this. Okay, if you clearly observe that this light ray, this is one light ray and this is another light ray, these two light rays are going to meet at some point, which is giving rise to interference. Clear guys? Now this is how interference is observed. But what are the points you need to keep in mind? So whenever this is a reflected ray, so when light is traveling from rarer to denser, when light is traveling from rarer to denser, the reflected ray will have a phase change of pi degrees or path difference of lambda by 2. Light is traveling from where? Light is traveling from denser to rarer. When light is traveling from denser to rarer, it will experience a phase change of pi degrees and path difference of lambda by 2. So for we require more means. So for example, this is a surface and this is a wave, and like this I have given. The reflected ray will be obtained like this. So this is crest, but it becomes as trough. The same waveform, I mean this is a string. The same string after traveling here, it will be obtained reversely. I mean in the whenever I am giving, it will be formed like this, but in return it will be obtained like this. Okay, but for the refracted ray, so this refracted ray is then no phase change, no phase change, but here it is having lambda by 2 path change, pi degrees phase change. Here lambda by 2 path change is there and pi degrees phase change is there, but the refracted ray, when it reflected, it won't experience any phase change because light is traveling from denser to rarer. When light is traveling from denser to rarer, it does not suffer no phase change, or it won't suffer any phase change. Okay, or in more simply what we can write here, guys, more simply. Okay, so light reflects from mu1 to mu2, suffers phase change of pi, path change of lambda by 2. Okay, now light reflects from mu2 to mu1. Okay, suffers no phase change. Okay, so when light travels from, okay, here, okay, fine. So you can write phase is equal to 0. Simply, light reflects from mu2 to mu1. Phase change is how much, Nana? Delta phase. Okay, delta phase equal to 0. This is the point you need to keep in mind. Is it clear, guys? Now we will go to the this is the very important point. If you keep this point in mind, then only you can able to understand the derivation very clearly. Okay, guys, so I hope you understood. What is the point, Nana? For a reflected ray, the phase change will be pi degrees, or path is lambda by 2. But for a refracted ray, the phase change is 0. For a refracted ray, the phase change is 0. Those two things you should keep in mind. Okay, now I'm considering this point A, this point B. Okay, this point A, this point B, and this point D, C, and this point D. Okay, now I'm going to join here. Now this is the extra distance. I mean, so what we can able to write? Path, total path change. So I'm writing here total path difference. Total path difference is equal to what we can able to write, guys, here, mu into AB plus BC. So we require till this point. Okay, so this AB and BC, I mean it is having a refractive index of what? Mu2. Okay, so here the refractive index is what? Mu2. So I can, or simply which is equal to mu. So what we can write? Mu into AB plus BC, and this is the extra distance covered. This is the extra distance covered by the reflected rays. So I can write it as AD, okay, and AD plus lambda by 2. This is the extra distance traveled by the reflected ray. Okay, Now if you clearly observe that, I can write this as mu into AB plus BC minus AD minus lambda by 2. Okay, or we can write this as the whole this term. Okay, so this whole term mu into AB, so this can be written as 2 mu t cos r, 2 mu t cos r, okay, cos r minus lambda by 2. Okay, so how is this 2 mu t cos r is obtained, we will derive right now. Okay guys, so in order to derive that, first of all, what is AB? AB means, you can see I'm drawing the other I'm drawing the diagram separately for the better understanding. Okay, so you can see guys, so for example, this point, consider this point as O. Okay, so this is what your point O. Okay, so this is A, okay, A, and here this is point B, and this is the point C. Okay, so this here angle of refraction. Okay, whatever the angle present here R, the same angle will be present here, so here is angle R. So from the triangle, AOB, from the triangle AOB, cos R is equal to, we can write it as OB. OB is what? Thickness by AB, or AB is equal to, we can write simply AB is equal to, we can write here AB is equal to T by cos R. AB is equal to T by cos R. So what we can write here, guys, so mu into 2T by cos R minus AD minus lambda by 2. But what is the value of AD? What is the value of AD? Here you can see this is the value of AD. Now how to obtain the AD value, that we will discuss right now. Okay. Yeah. So here, in order to get AD, so I'm drawing this also topmost, so that once again you can able to understand. Okay guys, fine. I will draw the main explanation here more clearly. Okay, so this is our first surface, and this is our second surface. This is our reflected, incident ray. It undergoes reflection like this, and this is our refracted ray, and it is going to refracted here like this. Okay, so this point is A, this is B, and this is C, and here this point D. Okay, so here the point is R, and the point is O here. Okay, so this is incident ray, and this is a reflected ray. So here this is a refracted ray. Fine. Now coming to the point here, so if you clearly observe that, okay, so this, okay, fine, I will make it somewhat down. Okay, this is B, and this is thickness T. Okay, so, and which is having a refractive index mu. Okay, now if you clearly observe that, okay, so this is right angle here, and A, D, and C. Okay, so very important guys here. So what is this distance AC? How to obtain AC? How to obtain AC? So once again, go through the term. Which term, guys? So go through the triangle. Triangle ACB, or simply, okay. So once again, from triangle AOB, we can write here tan R. Tan R is equal to, we can write it as opposite by adjacent. Opposite value how much, guys? AO. AO by T. AO by T. So we can write here AO is equal to T tan R. T tan R. Okay. So we can write here AO is equal to T tan R. That is AC is equal to 2T tan R. AC is equal to what, guys? AC 2TR. Okay. Now we are getting the value here. AC is equal to what, guys? AC is equal to 2T tan R. After getting AC is equal to 2T tan, so here I will be there. So opposite is there and hypotenuse we know. Opposite we know and hypotenuse we know. So what we can write, guys? Sin I. Sin I is equal to, what is the opposite? AD by hypotenuse what? 2T tan R. 2T tan R. So AD is equal to 2T tan R sin I. 2T tan R sin I. So we already know that sin I by, okay, I think it won't be appear here. So guys, I'm just erasing the front part. Okay, just I'm writing this part so that you can able to. So what you can write, guys. So mu into 2T by cos R minus AD minus lambda by 2. Okay, so I'm erasing this. Yeah. Okay, so guys, you can observe that what we got, AD is equal to 210. Okay, so mu into 2T by cos R minus 2T tan R sin I minus lambda by 2. Okay, so this is our formula. Now in this, if you clearly observe that, we can write one more pointer. I already know that sin I by sin R is equal to mu, or sin I is equal to mu sin R. So instead of sin I, I'm going to substitute mu sin R. That is mu 2T by cos R minus, I'm erasing this also. I hope you all understood. I'm just erasing Nana due to insufficiency in space. Please understand. Okay. Fine. Okay. So here what we can write here, guys, 2T tan R. Okay, and mu sin R minus lambda by 2. Okay. So what we can able to write, guys, here, you can write here mu, and mu 2T is common in all those, so just send it outside. So what we can write, 2 mu T, okay, 1 by cos R minus, and tan R can be written as sin R by cos R, so we can write it as sin square R by cos R minus lambda by 2. Okay, so what we can write, guys, 2 mu T into 1 minus sin square R can be written as what? Cos square R by cos R minus lambda by 2. That will give rise to 2 mu T cos r minus lambda by 2. This is the path difference. So delta x is equal to, this is the path difference. So what we can able to write, guys? Okay, so delta x, so what we can write, this is equal to what? Delta x. Delta x is equal to 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2, which is equal to delta x, the path difference. Okay, so actually this formula is not present. This formula is not present in our syllabus. But without knowing how it was obtained, you can't do any single problem. Is it right? Your mind will keep on thinking how this formula obtained, like that only. But as I want to give a clear idea, so I'm explaining everything how it was obtained. So now 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2, which is equal to our path difference. We already know that this is nothing but what? S2p minus S1p. When we will get constructive interference, Nana? When we will get constructive interference? When path difference is equal to n lambda, we will get constructive interference. When path difference is equal to 2n minus 1 by 2 lambda, we will get destructive interference. Then we need to apply the formula. Okay, so just keep this point in your mind, and we will discuss right now. Just a moment. It's not that easy to make the class, guys. So if it is a Zoom class, it is hardly take us to 1 hour to complete a class. But for a online class, it will take a very lot of pain. So please give worth to our classes. Okay, just prepare well and show in terms of marks. That is the only gift you can give to us. You can't give more than that. Okay, guys, so what is our formula path difference? Delta x is equal to 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2. So what is the condition? S2p minus S1p is equal to, so is nothing but delta x. Is it right? So when delta x is equal to n lambda, it is constructive interference. Okay, so this is where in YDSC, I will write it, fine, yeah, fine, guys. Okay, so what we are writing, guys, here in YDSC, delta x is equal to n lambda for constructive interference. Delta x is equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2 for destructive interference. So the same formulas we are applying, but in thin films, okay, delta x is what? Delta x is equal to 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2. Okay, so for constructive interference, 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2 is equal to n lambda. Okay, so when you send lambda, so we can write here 2 mu t cos r is equal to n lambda, or we can write here n lambda minus lambda by 2. Okay, that implies 2 mu t cos r is equal to what we can write, guys? 2n minus 1 lambda by 2. 2n minus 1 lambda by 2. So this is the formula for what? So in YDSC, whatever the formula we are obtaining, exactly opposite. So for example, this R value is very small. R value is very small. R is approximately equal to 0. That is cos R is equal to how much? 1. that will give rise to 2 mu t is equal to 2n minus 1 by 2 lambda. 2n minus 1 by 2 lambda. So this is the formula for the constructive interference. Similarly, we will find out for destructive interference. Okay guys, how it is we will just observe right now. Okay, so I will make a correlation in the very ending class so that you can understand it very easily, guys. Okay, see, today I have planned few surprises also. Okay, very surprises. Fine. Now guys, we already discussed the constructive interference. Now delta, I mean for destructive interference, delta x should be equal to 2n minus 1 by 2 lambda. Okay, so I can write here 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2 is equal to 2n by 2 minus 1 by 2 lambda. Okay, so this lambda by 2 will get cancelled, and what will left is, of course lambda is there, 2n lambda. This 2 is to cancel. 2 mu t cos r is equal to n lambda. Okay, 2 mu t cos r is equal to n lambda. Okay guys, so if r is a small angle and approximately equals to 0, we can write here 2 mu t is equal to n lambda. So this is the formula for what, guys? Destructive interference. So finally what I want to say is, okay, yeah, finally what I want to say is delta x is equal to 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2, delta x. Okay, and condition for constructive interference, okay, 2 mu t cos r is equal to 2n minus 1 by 2 lambda. For destructive more simplification, 2 mu t is equal to 2n minus 1 by 2 lambda. For destructive interference, 2 mu t cos r is equal to n lambda, that implies 2 mu t is equal to n lambda. These are the final formulas, you should keep it in mind. Okay guys, hope you all understood. Right now we will check. Okay, yeah. So right now I hope you will understand very easily. So I said now, condition for constructive interference. So this is what 2 mu t cos r is, what guys? It is path difference. So for condition for constructive interference, 2 mu t cos r is equal to 2n plus or minus lambda by 2. So we got here or not 2n plus. Okay, now coming to the next here, when we consider r is equal to 0, 2 mu t is equal to 2n plus or minus 1 by 2. Our condition for destructive interference, delta x is equal to 2 mu t cos r and 2n lambda by 2, that is simply lambda n lambda. For normal incidence or simply r is equal to 0, 2 mu t is equal to n lambda. So these are the formulas we already discussed. Now interference in refracted light. What is this interference in refracted light? I'm going to explain here once again on the board, just observe it. Okay guys, now the logic here is, I already said one point. When light is traveling, this is the refractive index mu1, this is refractive index of mu2. So mu1 is equal to 1, mu2 is equal to some value, and here once again we are having mu1. In this condition, this is called as reflected light. This is what guys? Reflected light. But if this value is mu3 and mu3 is greater than mu2, mu3 is greater than mu2, at the time it is called as refracted light. Okay, if here mu3 is equal to mu1, if mu3 is equal to mu1, I mean mu1 and mu3 are same, then it is called as what, guys? It is called as reflected light. And if mu3 is equal to certain value that is greater than mu2, then it is called as refracted light. So what is the point here you need to discuss? Okay, what is the point you need to discuss, guys? So the most important point we need to discuss is, yeah, okay, fine. Okay, hope you completed this. I'm erasing this. Okay, yeah. So I already said that when light travels from rarer to denser, whenever it reflected from a rarer to denser, I mean it is a denser one. So when light is traveling from rarer to denser, I mean after hitting here, it suffers a phase difference of pi degrees and the path difference of lambda by 2. Now this is also a denser medium. When compared to mu2, mu3 is a denser medium. So here also it will undergo a phase change of lambda by 2 or not, guys? Here also it will undergo a path change of lambda by 2. Here it is a path change of lambda by 2. Here it is a path change of lambda by 2. So in this condition, so here it is going extra distance of how much? I mean path difference of lambda by 2. Here also a path difference of lambda by 2. By the below surface is a refractive index of mu3. Whenever more is there, more refractive index is there, it will create a path difference of lambda by 2. Now you can observe, guys, total path difference delta x is equal to 2 mu t, okay, cos r minus lambda by 2 plus lambda by 2, minus lambda by 2 plus lambda by 2. So both will get cancelled. Okay, so both will get cancelled. Whenever both gets cancelled, 2 mu t cos r is equal to n lambda. This is the condition for what, guys? This is the condition for constructive interference, Ci. Okay, and 2 mu t cos r is equal to 2n minus 1 by lambda by 2. This is for destructive interference. I hope is it clear right now. Okay, so all I will explain very simply, guys, so that you will have a clear formula in your mind. Okay, yeah. Okay, so here I'm going to draw, first of all, here YDSE. I'm drawing YDSE. Okay, reflected light, refracted light. Okay, so here what topic I am writing this as a topic. Okay, so first one is delta x. Okay, so what is delta x? In delta x is same, it won't, I mean S2p minus S2p minus S1p. Okay, so for for refracted ray, it is 2 mu t cos r, okay, minus lambda by 2. Okay, here it is 2 mu t cos r. Okay, so first condition for constructing interference for Ci. For Ci, what is the formula condition for? Here it is n lambda, S2p minus S1p is equal to n lambda. Here it is equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2, and for refracted light once again n lambda. For destructive interference, once again here the formula is what, guys? 2n minus 1 lambda by 2. And but here we are having what, guys? N lambda. And here we are having 2n minus 1 lambda by 2. That's it. This is a clear classification. So here why the light will undergo phase change, guys? Here light undergoes a phase change of phase change of pi degrees, or path change of lambda by 2. That's the reason the nature got inverted. So for dark band it is forming what? Bright, and for bright band it is forming dark. So the nature of YDSC and reflected rays were altered, but for refracted light it is same like a YDSC. So this is the main thing regarding your experiment. Hope you all understood, guys. Now we will move on to our next topic. Okay, hope you all understood. Okay, yeah. Now we will discuss the most interesting topics, guys. Of course, it is already covered in your sound waves lesson, but we will have a look. Okay, this is what the total interference of thin films. Now we are entering into a topic of Doppler effect. Doppler effect. Okay, Doppler effect. What is Doppler effect? Apparent change in the frequency. Apparent change in frequency due to the relative motion of light with respect to an observer is called as Doppler effect. Apparent change in the frequency observed by the observer. Apparent change in the frequency observed by the observer due to relative motion of the light is called as Doppler effect. Okay, so here we will just discuss a few points here, then we will go ahead. Fine. Okay, so next yeah, fine. Yeah, Doppler effect, the phenomena of apparent change in frequency of the light due to relative motion between source of light and observer is called as Doppler effect. So here V is actual frequency, V dash is apparent frequency, and V is the speed of the source, and with respect to the observer, C is the speed of the light. Now guys, we can write here apparent frequency. In apparent frequency we are having two cases. One is light is moving, light is moves towards the observer. When light is moves towards the observer, some more, when compared to the actual frequency, some more frequency waves will add up. So the apparent frequency increases. When apparent frequency increases, the wavelength will decreases. When apparent frequency increases, the wavelength decreases. The formula for the apparent frequency is V dash, nu dash is equal to V into 1 plus V by C. Okay, I'm just showing here. Okay guys, so here we are having two cases. Okay, light is, this is the observer. Okay, so we are having two cases. Light is approaching towards the observer, light is moving away from the observer. When light is approaching towards the observer, at every point some more frequency will add up. At every point some more frequency, for example, so when he moves from here to here, other than this frequency, it is getting added. So the frequency formula is nu dash is equal to actual frequency into 1 plus velocity by wave. This is the formula. Okay, when moving away, so nu dash is equal to nu into 1 minus V by C. So when frequency increases, we already know that the frequency is inversely proportional to the wavelength. So what we can write, guys, lambda dash is equal to lambda into 1 minus V by C. Here lambda dash is equal to lambda into 1 plus V by C. These are the formulas for the Doppler effect. For this there is no derivation, guys. So simply it is we have to choose it by, I mean, simply when compared to the previous velocity, I mean, it's like comparing and adding. So the change in frequency when the light is approaching towards here, you can see, guys, frequency is getting more, and as the frequency is getting more, the wavelength will decrease. When light is approaching to the person, frequency will increase and wavelength will decrease. And when light is moving away from the source, you can see light frequency will decrease and wavelength is increasing. Okay, so when the wavelength is, you can see the wavelength decreases. When wavelength is decreases, it is gives rise to blue color. Wavelength is gives, I mean, when wavelength decreases, it gives rise to blue color, blue light of the spectrum, which is called as blue shift. And when light is moving away from the observer, okay, wavelength is increasing, so it will shows the lighter red color in the spectrum, which is called as redshift. Okay, the main point is when light is approaching, blue shift takes place. When light is moving away, redshift is taking place. This is the formula, you should keep it in the mind. Okay, and one more important final position is change in wavelength. Change in wavelength by original wavelength is equal to V by C. Change in wavelength by original wavelength is equal to velocity by velocity of light. Velocity of light in the medium by actual velocity of light in air or vacuum. This is also another comparing formula. Okay, so from we using this, this is same for both the cases. Change in wavelength is equal to original wavelength, which is equal to the velocity of light in that particular medium by velocity of light to the air or vacuum. Okay, so this is what we called as the Doppler effect. I already know that, guys. You won't find some this what we can say, you won't find easy. I want to show, I already said I want to show everything practically, is it right? So you can see here. Okay, guys, so this is how you can see when the train is approaching to the person, you can able to see the blue or violet color, which is called as blue shift. Here the wavelength is getting decreased. Now here you can see the light is, I mean, the light or sound is moving away from the observer, so it is called as redshift. Okay, so this is what the shift in the, I mean, this is what we discussed till now. Okay, now what are the applications? So what are the applications of this Doppler effect? Determination of speed of moving bodies in radar and sonar. Determination of speed of moving bodies in radar and sonar. Sir, how it will be? I know, guys. For that, I'm going to show you the practical example. Yeah. So okay, guys, I'm going to show you experimentally how the it is going to take place. Okay, how Doppler effect is used in our daily life. Okay, hope you guys, we will just observe. So you can observe here. The ship is moving here. You can able to see as the ship is moving here, this moment of the shift will be, this moment of shift will be observed by this monster monster structure. You can observe on the its screen. Yeah. So you can observe here the ship, whatever the ship, actual position of the ship is here, but it is projecting that the ship will come to this point in certain amount of time. So how it is finded the position of the ship means the velocity is detected using the concept of Doppler effect. The velocity of the ship is detected, and uh, there it is going to fire some bullets now. In how much time it will go there, it can be identified. How much time it will be go there, they can get identified. And with this velocity, we know the velocity and we know the time there. So it is going to fire at that position. So it will guessing an idea how it will go in particular amount of time. Okay, you can see this progressiveness. I mean, where the object, where how the target is moving and how it is projecting, that will be done by the Doppler effect. You can observe here. So, and it has projected the bombshells, but it has identified by the hero, and he said, he instructed drop the anchor so that the ship will stop at that instant. Ship will not reach the projected place. That is what going to happen. Just observe. Just observe. Just observe. Yes. You can observe that bullets were missed the target. Why bullets were missed the target? Because hero changed the course of the ship. Course is nothing but path. Okay. So here Doppler effect was failed. Now they are firing. Of course, that is a tactic of we need to employ in the wars. That is different issue. Okay, uh, fine. You can add one more point, guys. Here, yeah. Once again, once again. Yes, 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 yes. This is the point. You can see this is the monster structure and this is the ship. So the whole map you can able to see here. Whole map you can able to see. Based on, this is all based on the Doppler effect. Not only this movie, guys. Not only this movie. We are having plenty of movie. I think you have observed Ghazi. Ghazi movie, Doppler effects plays a prominent role. So many times we can observe that effect, Doppler effect. One person who always hearing, just keeping a headset and always hearing the sound, sound based on that sound, they will observe whether that torpedo is fired or not fired. So Doppler effects plays a very crucial role in aeroplanes as well as submarines. Okay, hope you all understood about Doppler effect. Is it clear, guys? Yeah, fine. Based on the Doppler effect only. This is how the bombing system works. Okay, so when a person is moving, with what velocity the person is moving, and it will gets identified, and we are going aiming to that particular target. Okay, guys, hope you understood the Doppler effect very clearly. Now this actually monster is firing. Actually it is like this, it want to shift to this side, and once again it should shoot, it should in order to escape the damage. Okay, so this is how the Doppler effects use in our daily life. Okay, so hope you understood the topic, guys. Okay, now we are going to discuss few problems and we are winding up our class. Okay, you can see the first question, guys. So a star is moving towards the earth with a speed of 4.5 into 10 power 6 meter per second. If the uh, true wavelength of a certain line in the spectrum is received from a star is 5890 angstroms, its apparent wavelength will be about. Okay guys, so we need to, yeah, okay guys, I mean more than it is not possible. Okay, so fine guys, anyway, so please just here. Okay, I hope you all understood about the Doppler effect very clearly. Now we will go into the solve few problems guys. Yeah, yes, just moment, just moment. Okay guys, okay, now coming to the first point. First of all, they has given, I mean, what is the formula guys? So you can see the question here. A star is moving towards the earth. V is given, V is equal to given as 4.5 into 10 power 6. Okay guys, now next, well, lambda given, lambda is equal to 5890 angstroms. Clear? And what is, I mean, we already know the C value. So it's apparent wavelength. Now if you clearly observe that moving towards means the wavelength will decreases. The formula is lambda dash is equal to lambda into 1 minus V by C. Okay, so just apply the formula. You are getting what? 5890 1 minus V is equal to 4.5 into 10 power 6 by 3 into 10 power 8. Okay, so when you solve this, you are getting 5890 into 1 minus this value is equal to 0.015. Okay, so 0.015, its value is equal to how much guys? 5890 into 0.985, and the value is 5802 angstroms. So which is your option? C is your option, 5802 angstroms. Okay, so this is your answer, 5802 is your answer. So which is your option? Option C is your answer. This is how we need to solve the problem. Okay, hope you all understood. Okay, this is a very simple problem. Okay, coming to the next question. Yeah, so coming to the next, light from the constellation Virgo is observed to increase in wavelength by 0.4 degrees. Okay, now wavelength is increases by 0.4 degrees. Okay, with respect to the earth, the constellation is, okay, now coming to the point here. So change in wavelength is given how much guys? 4%. Sorry, it is 0.4%. Okay, with respect to the earth constellation, we already know the formula, change in lambda by original lambda. So this is change in lambda by original lambda is equal to V by C, change in lambda by. So we can write this value as 0.4 by 100 is equal to V by C, or that implies V is equal to C into 0.4 by 100. That is equal to V is equal to 3 into 10 power 8 into 0.4 by 100. So which is equal to 1.2 into 10 power 6 meter per second. We got the value 1.2 into 10 power 6 meter per second. But the point is, we are having two options, moving away with velocity and coming closer with velocity. Which one is the correct answer? You need to keep one point. Wavelength increases. When will wavelength increases? Coming closer or moving away? Moving away. Whenever light is moving away, so we are having the option A, moving away. Okay, so say the wavelength increases means what is your answer, Nana? Moving away with velocity. Option A is your answer. This is how you need to solve the problems. Okay, hope you understood the problems. Now coming to the next one more question. Yeah, so this is a little bit difficult question, guys, but if you do is a step by step, it is a very easy. Okay, now what is this question? So here I'm first drawing the, okay, this is our thin film interference, this is our reflected ray, and this is refracted ray. Now it undergoes reflection and here it undergoes. Okay, so first of all, this is a point A and point B, and this is a point C. Now I'm giving number to each. This is 1, 2, 3, okay, and 4, 5, and 6, 7. Why numbering? So giving number will makes you less confusion. So first of all, what is the intensity of the first wave? Intensity of first wave. Intensity of first wave. It is equal to how much, guys? I naught. I naught. And reflected ray will be 20% of I naught. 20% of I naught, or 20% reflected ray, 20% of I naught. So I am writing number 2. Number 2 is equal to 20 by 100 I naught. So that is equal to I naught by 5. Third one will be, it is nothing but I naught minus I naught by 5. So which is equal to 4 I naught by 5. Third one is how much, guys? 4 I naught by 5. Now this I naught will once again undergo reflection. This 4 I naught, this third light ray once again undergoes reflection. So 4 I naught by 5 into 20 by 100. So this is how much, guys? 1 by 5. So 4 I naught by 25. So this is for what? Fifth light ray. Fifth light ray is how much, guys? 4 I naught by 25. Fourth one is how much? Fourth one is 16 I naught by 25. And this is 4 I naught by 25. Now this light ray once again undergoes, I'm erasing this for lack of okay, guys. Okay, so this 4 I naught by 25 undergoing. Okay, so if you clearly observe that light is reflecting like this and it is moving away, so this will be, so first of all I will find this value. Reflected ray, we already know that. How much, guys? So for 5 it is, or for 5 I'm writing it as we already know that it is 4 I naught by 5 into how much, otherwise directly we don't require the 6 value, we don't require, we will discuss only the 7th. Okay, so and it is a refracted one. So how much value it is? That 80% of light reflected will be like this, and the remaining 80% will be sent that side. So that is how much, guys? 4 by 5, or simply 80 by 100. 80 by 100, 20% is reflecting, so it is how much? 4 by 5. So this is 4 I naught by 25 na? So it is 4 by 5. So for 7th, this is actually, sorry, for 7th. For 5th already we got 5th. Okay, fine. Yeah, for 5th is equal to 4 I naught by 25. Okay, and for 7th, it is equal to 4 I naught by 25 into 4 I naught by 25 into 80 by 100. That is 16 by 125 I naught. So here this light ray is 16 by 125 I naught. Guys, so we need to, what is our question? I max by I minimum required. So this is a reflected ray. It is having a I naught by 5. So our final answer, guys, you can see. So from whatever we required, we got. Now you can write here. What is the point, guys? What is the point? Second ray, it is how much intensity? I naught by 5. Seventh ray, what is the intensity? 16 by 125 I naught. So we already know that I max is equal to square root of I1, simply I am writing directly formula. I1 plus I2 plus 2 root I1 I2. Okay, now I can write this as I naught by 5 plus I naught by 16 by 125 I naught plus here 2 root I naught by 5 I naught by 125. Okay, 16 also is there. Now I naught, square root of I naught and I naught. So okay, first of all I naught by 5 plus 16 by 125 I naught plus, so here you can see square root of 16 is 4. 4 2s are 8. 8 I naught and 625. 625 square root is 25. Okay, so we can write this as I naught into, whole LCM is how much, guys? 125. So here it is how many times 125 means 25. 25 I naught, and here it is the same 16 I naught, and here it is 40 I naught. That is overall 81 I naught by 125. So I max is this, which is equal to what? I max. Clear, guys? So I max, I'm writing here I max is equal to 81 I naught by 125. Keep it aside. Now I'm arranging all this. So everything is same. Everything is same, but except here minus. This is what, guys? Minimum. I minimum. Okay, now what is this value? We can write here I naught by 5 plus 16 by 125 I naught minus, we are having what, guys? Here 2 4s is 8. 8 by 25 I naught. Okay, so by taking the LCM, how much, guys? 125. We are writing here 20 I naught plus 16 I naught minus 40 I naught. So this value is equal to I naught by 125. So this is equal to I minimum. Okay, so here you need to observe I max is equal to, I am writing here once again. In our question, our formula is what, guys? In our in the question, they asked us ratio of I max by I min. So what is that, guys? 81 I naught by 125 by I naught by 125. So 125 cancel, I naught cancel, and I max by I minimum is equal to 81. This is our formula. 81. This is our formula. So of course, I'm sorry, I forgot to keep the options, but answer is 81. Okay, hope you all understood this question, Nana. This is the one very most important model. Okay, so fine. I hope you all understood. Okay, now coming to the last question of this today's session. Okay. Okay, guys. So coming to the last questions of today's session. Okay. So in a YDSC experiment, if a slab whose refractive index can be varied in place in front of one of slit, okay, then the variation of the result wave is okay. So for example, guys, okay, so this is our YDSC experiment. Okay, now here we are getting what central fringe O. Okay, central fringe S1, S2. Now between they placed a slit. They placed what, guys? Slit. Okay, now when they placed a slit, you can see, observe here, when the refractive index varies, what is the variation in the intensity of light, they are asking. Okay, we already know that lateral shift y is equal to beta by lambda into mu minus 1 into t. So beta by lambda value is a constant, so y is directly proportional to mu minus 1 into t. Okay, for example, if mu is equal to 1, y is equal to 0, that is intensity will be maximum. Intensity is I max. So you can get the graph. I mean the graph I'm drawing here. So here we can write, guys, mu is equal to 1. So the point here it is maximum. I naught will be I naught. So I naught will be maximum. Okay. Now if mu value increases, mu value increases, so when mu value is increases, what will happen, guys? The path difference will be changes. How the path difference will be changes? So path difference changes from 0 to lambda by 2. So 0 by 2 lambda by 2, when it shifts, I max, I mean intensity will changes from I naught to 0, I max to 0. Intensity changes from I max to 0. Okay, and when lambda by 2 to lambda, I mean when if you still increases the refractive index, the path difference changes as delta lambda by 2 to lambda, that is once again light changes from 0 to I max. So if you clearly observe that, the formula, I mean the graph might be like this. So which is your perfect answer? Option third is your answer, but it is showing it as fourth option. Okay, so option third is your answer. Okay, so you can check that. So of course it is given as fourth, but answer is what? Your third option. This is how we need to explain the problems, guys. Hope you all understood the topics very clearly and easily, guys. So it is not easy to take the YouTube class as like our general class, so please follow our classes. Okay, I mean most of the students will think that, I mean no sir is watching us now, so we will just enjoy. If you enjoy, or if you give importance for the entertainment now, in future you are going to face the trouble, guys. So please guys. Okay, and one more point by the students. Okay, so we are tomorrow we are having a doubt session from 3:30 to 5:30. 3:30 to 5:30 I will be available. Those who are having the doubts, and any questions, we can able to discuss in the tomorrow session. 3:30 to 5:30 I am going to available in the same user ID, that is Narayana's user ID.